interesting, pretty interactive. We all had a lot of fun, right? Now, we thought, okay, anyway, HUS is conducting its very own language week, and let's conduct another session for Hindi Jamavada. And we have our very own Adarsh here. So we're going to have yet another fun-filled morning, and we'll be giving you all the gyan you need so that you have everything you need when you come to college and you have to actually interact with people in Hindi. So now hop on aboard with Adarsh and let's start with our day one, the first challenge, which will be conducted by HUs, that is Guess the Language Challenge. So this challenge will be conducted by Abhijit right now. So buckle up, everybody. This is going to be a fun ride.
Yep. Thank you for turning up, everyone. So it's very simple. I will play either a song or someone speaking a certain language, and you have to either put it in the chat or unmute and tell. The first person who guesses the language either through chat or the one who unmutes and tells is the winner. And Hannah, I guess you can keep a check on the chats.
Cool, I'll do that. So like Abhijit said, we'd very well appreciate it if you could actually unmute and tell, but yeah, answering in the chat is also acceptable.
Cool. It won't be that hard. Easy, famous songs and languages. Okay, let's start. The first Guess the Language challenge. Oh, wait, sorry. I forgot to share the audio. Yep.
तोर क्यों हो वो लुथ बाबरेपन बिष्ट बिष्ट प्रार हो खुद को बन तोर क्यों हो वो लुथ बाबरेपन सुका मन छो खुद को तरन को तर बीछी मार कन यूं छैगे कुंदान तार कन हुकुस पुकुस दिलवन सुकुस मोहब्बत तुकलो दुंदे श्वास किच किच वामनो ब्रह्मंजारन पौन छोकुम टेकिस चकावनी क्यों
Yeah. Did anyone?
Is it Pashto?
Wait, I'm not sure if it's the same language. It is. Okay, any other guesses? Pashtun is there.
Right or wrong, like that?
What?
Like, is it Pashto? I asked.
Hawaiian.
Okay, let's see. Hawaii, Pashtun is there in the guesses. What else?
Any other guesses, guys?
Okay, I'll give you a clue. It's an Indian language.
Chirag is saying it's a Kashmiri language.
Okay.
Kashmiri.
Any other guesses? Wait, where did Chirag say in the chat?
In the chat, yes.
Okay, any other?
Vignesh has also said it is Pashto
Okay.
in chat.
And even Dari. Not sure how
It's
you pronounce it.
like the word manjo, I think they use the word manjo. It's actually mute, but the same meaning in Pashto. That's why I had a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the language that is spoken in this.
Persian.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the language that is spoken in this video, is sung in this video, might have some relation with the Pashtun language. I'm not sure, but it is an Indian language. Is Pashtun an Indian language? No,
It's
right?
almost like, right now it's Afghan, but before, the Indian, this is there. Like tone. Like mujhe means they use the word manjo. They have the Indian roots heavy. So that means maybe. Territorially, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Territorially,
I
Indian, you have to be specific because in sometimes Sanskrit is very large in groups. So you can say like territorially Indian now or not. That will be better to understand.
Okay. But the singer of this song is Kashmiri and the song is Kashmiri. I guess Chirag guessed it right.
Yeah, Chirag's gonna guess it right.
Yeah, it might have some relation with, Pashtun or Arabic or Persian, but I'm not very sure.
It makes sense because, like Vignesh said, Pashto is an Afghani language, so we can expect languages from northwestern India have similarity to
Exactly,
the
because the
Pakistan.
word with Manzo like that it blended, so I thought it Pashtun will be there, that exact language.
Uh-huh.
It's
Okay.
very near actually. The Kashmiri and the very near areas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what, because they're geographically very close, there's a good chance the languages are also quite.
Like who said Kashmiri will get the full marks and I will get the half? Like like that, is it possible?
Uh,
Yeah, really, because I'm pretty close.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, we can take it into account. There is no winners actually. We are just,
but just yeah, give it
giving
a
them
point.
points. Yep, it's just a discussion and it's fun. I guess Chira got it right.
Yeah, and
Okay.
one thing I would like to point out, ये कोई class नहीं है, so you can interact. It's just a session, dude. Guys, everyone, please try to interact. That will make it more fun. This is just a fun activity, which I guess Abhijit and Hana they work their heads off, getting this thing together as an idea and concept.
Okay, okay. So the next song, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Please.
Nu știu floarea ce-o se simte, dar pisica da cântă. Și noi cântăm cu dânsea, hopa, țânia, țânia, hopa. Toată lumea toată-i încântată de pisica talentată. Hopa, hai că-i bună, hopa, nu e o glumă, toți în casă pe costică să le mai aduc o sticlă.
Yep. It's kind of a famous
It's
video.
Very famous. We all know this cute.
in India or like it's Indian related somewhat.
No,
or
it's
more-
not an Indian language.
Okay.
But it went really viral maybe when I was in third or fourth, not sure.
Yep, definitely, Shalini. This song brings back a lot of memories. This little cute pig trying to get the cookies. It was one of the most famous clips for a while. Yep, so any guesses? Like Abhijit said, this is not an English language.
Korean like
Korean, no, it's not. Any other guesses?
Guys, I'm guessing it's
एक बार
Japanese.
फिर से चलाना, एक बार फिर से चलाना.
I guess Russian.
Okay.
Okay, we'll play the video again once more,
Cool.
the clip.
Just 10 or 15 seconds.
Nu știu floarea ce-o se simte, dar pisica da cântă. Și noi cântăm cu dânsea, hopa, țânia, țânia, hopa. Toată lumea
Yep. Oh, I think Gayatri said.
I think it is some sort of Southeast Asian, like Indonesian or something like that. I have a feeling that it's somewhere that way.
Fine. So in the guesses, we have Korean, we
We have
have
Roman, we have
Roman,
Mandarin,
Mandarin,
and Korean.
Vietnamese. I'm saying I'm Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese as well.
I will say Spanish only.
Spanish.
Okay, there's a lot of guesses. Fine. So,
Nu știu floarea ce-o
sorry. It is Romania. It's
Oh my God, Roman. Someone wrote Roman.
Yep, Gayatri
Ro-
almost right.
Gayatri
Yep.
don't do.
Roman is extinct, no? Or is it still?
I think it still is there.
Romania country is there.
Yeah.
The one thing is, some language. I think I've heard another song in Romanian. I forgot the name, but it's so surprising. Like you really think it's an Asian language, or it's from Southeast Asia, or maybe even Indian. But yeah, it's all the way from Romania.
Yeah. Even South
Language-
Korean, the Korean language has a lot of similarity with some.
Similarities, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what.
Yeah, and it was sung by a very small, very young singer called Cleopatra, Romanian
It's pretty
singer.
obvious, isn't it, Abhijit? It's
Ah.
a small girl who's singing it.
Okay, the
Yeah.
next is a person talking.
ஏதோ ஒன்று இருக்கு சும்மா அப்படி பார்த்தா சொல்ற சம்திங் ஒரு ஏதோ ஒன்று இருக்கு அவங்க கிட்ட அப்படின்னு சொல்லி என்ன சொன்னாங்க அந்த கண்ணை வச்சுதான் உங்களை எல்லாம் நான் சம்பாதிச்சேன்.
Yep. Any guesses?
Tamil, bro.
A lot of Tamil.
No doubt in it.
Okay, fine. But the answer is Malayalam.
Oh, Buddha. Hey, Tamil.
Say it again.
Just
Everyone else also thought he was Rajnikant.
fine. Who told Tamil first?
The first person was Praveen, who said,
Okay. But this doesn't count. It was just a fun thing.
I mean, who doesn't know Rajnikant, so does not count.
Yep. It's not Malayalam, it's Tamil. Okay. So that's it for today. We will come back with some more challenges. I think day 2, day 3, we have 3 more days. Yep. Thank you for taking part and being interactive. Over to Adarsh.
ये जरा सा ना यशवंत को ऐड कर So we are back, everyone, after the overwhelming response last time around for the first Hindi session. And it brings me a lot of pleasure to be with you all again. So to begin with, what exactly did we cover last time around? Does anyone recollect that? So, we basically covered a bit of words and a bit of letters and everything, if everyone remembers. I don't know if everyone from the last session is here or not. But yeah, we covered quite a few things. And so I'll begin without any. Wait, I'll begin my presentation this time around. I hope you enjoy it. So wait, I need to share my screen as well.
Went from rocket now into space. Where is the space suit?
So, hello. हाँ क्या कौन बोल रहा है?
Yeah. First you were in the background was rocket. Now it's like in the space station kind of outside. Where is your space suit then? Like within seconds, how?
I'm a Superman, dude. I don't need it. Okay, why is it not sharing? Okay, got it. Yep. So here it is. Before I begin the session, I would like to bring it to your notice कि इसमें this time around we are planning to have more interactions. जैसे अभी Abhijit and Hana ने किया था, they tried to get you in the interactive mode. We'll try to bring you in. So we appreciate if you open your mic and even if you cannot do that, like मेरे notice में 2-3 लोगों ने बोला है that they cannot turn on the mic. So please try to stay active on the chat. And so yeah, this word, Hindi Jamavada, what exactly is Jamavada? Does any non-Hindi speaking person have an idea of that? कोई है?
When you sit together and eat jam.
No, not that.
Abhijit, two meeting with I told you the meaning. So somebody who was not in the EdTruth meeting and someone who is not a Hindi person. Anyone?
Like maybe like this word, I actually searched in net, bro, when you send the link. So that means I know that already. So like swarm of insects, like zombie meaning like that. I'm not sure.
Okay, Asito, I think you already speak Hindi is your mother tongue, so he's replied in the chat. Huh. Anybody else whose first language is not Hindi and they know the meaning? Okay, Shalini says, "Come on, let's learn Hindi."
Okay, ये तुमने जरा yalla let's learn Arabic से उठा लिया Shalini, but okay, without wasting your time, I'll tell you. Basically होता क्या है, in the Hindi heartland area, there are these villages, the Gangetic Plains. So there are these trees, big people trees under which the elders, the juniors, okay, junior to college term हो गया. But basically, the children, the seniors, everyone sits and around the sunset they discuss this, how they started their day and everything. They discuss all sorts of things. Basically, Chinese whisper bhi ho jata hai. So they try to interact and learn different things. So because this is like an interactive session, I decided this was the best name. I hope you like my innovation. Do give a thumbs up so that I know that you are following till here. किसी को कोई doubt as to what a Jamavada is? If no, just put a thumbs up or something so I know.
Yes, Praveen, you raised your hand.
क्या हुआ प्रवीण?
No, that was a mistake. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, great. Praveen, Rahul, understand. बाकी लोग सो गए. Everyone else is asleep, eh? Okay. I'll leave it at that. So much so for slide one. So now we'll go for a recap of what we did, in the last session. So we basically, Aram, what's this thing? Yep. Okay, I don't know why I'm unable to move this thing, but yeah. So just ignore this part that's getting covered up. So we discussed, considering comparison of two different languages and reading and scanning as I called it. So this last time we guessed was some greeting which is basically good day. Name is name, and this is basically German. You make it out Chennai and Ish is I. So now you have to just find out this. Out of this you can make out this is study, and this is German. Then we figured out that this refers to hey mister or a small brother, something like that. And Singam is sing lion, and basically Tamil and its analogs with Hindi. This was the last session. Just
Small
a brief
brother, bro.
recap for those who couldn't attend.
It's not small brother. Falling means big, bro. Pigs will come together, like
अच्छा
like
भाई
that.
ठीक है बड़े भाई cool following everyone चलो that thanks a lot Vignesh I thought तुम follow नहीं कर रहे हो but you're following so that's great yeah so this time around again we decided to discover a few copy paste lines these are the easiest way to uh, start a discussion in a new language. So ish, as we guessed, was I. Comma is something, and come basically. And when we put places here, then you are able to guess the meaning. Then woher becomes where you don't know forms and do. So this is how German begins. And then we tried to bring those copy paste lines into Hindi. Mera hai, as two words in the beginning and the end, and in between you put a sentence like my citizenship is Indian. So mera hai, meri nagrik, mera becomes meri because you are an Indian, and we say Bharat Mata ki jai. लड़कियों के साथ in Hindi you use e, not a. लड़का becomes a, and then लड़की becomes e. So ये लड़की है. So भारत माता की जय होता है. भारत माता का जय नहीं होता है. Okay. So that's why this mera becomes meri nagrikta bhartiya, which basically means my citizenship is Indian. मेरा नाम XYZ है अब क्योंकि मैं लड़का हूँ आई एम एज एन आदर्श आई एम अ बॉय सो आई यूज मेरा ठीक है बट देन वी पॉइंटेड आउट कि if say a girl is there okay let's take a name okay Hana so Hana will not say मेरी नाम Hana hai she will also say मेरा नाम Hana hai so this I pointed out as an exception wherein you take in a few cases wherein the general rules don't stand so these general rules are not said okay these are as I put up tikdams or tricks in Hindi to quickly learn a few basic lines and start speaking Hindi so then जैसे पिछली बार हरीश इस बार आया क्या that guy Harish Balaji sir's plane Harish okay I guess he's not here so last time around we had Harish I don't know why he hasn't joined
Acha, Adarsh, there's a question for you in the chat.
oh
So,
okay
Abhijit पूछ रहा है कि there's a Hindi session. Why are we learning German here?
Because this is from the last session and we took an analog. We basically had the stickdom of, reading, scanning, and guessing for chatting because that time we were all online. So, we were chatting, we were not talking that much. So that's why I put out an analog that, any foreign language. For Tamilians, it will be Hindi. For me, as I was learning German at that point of time, I took a German analog just to point out, just to make a point, if you read carefully, you can read and scan and get the basic gist out of it. इतना कोई hard नहीं होता and every language has a contemporary English word these days because of globalization का जो दौर चला है. So we are not learning German to be precise. So we just took an analog. The last session was analog and analysis of various dialects of Hindi language. Okay. Now we are in Hindi Jamavada. So we are just recapping, Abhijit. I hope that answers your question. Does it? Bolle.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, reading and scanning and noting the vocab. So now, अभी जैसा आप लोग जो non-Hindi people हैं यहाँ पे, they might have taken a note. Hana said, अभिजीत पूछ रहा है. So what is पूछ? That is basically asking. So that's how when you try to guess the meaning, you get a few individual words का vocab. And I'm very happy to note that मेरे कुछ friends हैं, mostly Mallus, but yeah. So congrats, Mallu groups. The thing is, they have been backtracking my Hindi comments, and they've been asking ki what does this word mean? I guess this much, but I didn't get the last part. It takes a lot of amount of patience, but with these everyday conversations, you really do pick up a vocab, and you really do start learning a language to its fullest. So yeah, and so that's how so much so for vocab. This is what we did last session. So उस वक्त हरीश ने पूछा था कि can we learn a language simply by watching movies and songs? So of course you cannot see technical things in Hindi mostly, but there are a few good movies like Three Idiots. You'll be able to guess that this guy is the teacher. He's scolding Amir Khan. He's going there and he disobeys and he comes back, and whatever he says, he is trying to be a disobedient comedian in that scene from Three Idiots. Three Idiots is a good movie. You should watch it. And then like I personally, I don't know आप लोग में से कितने लोगों ने देखा था 14th Feb को रात 12 बजे मैंने कानावे गा के I had uploaded it on the WhatsApp group. Shortly delete कर दिया था मैंने. But this is
Sing
the
it
video
again. Sing it
Of
again.
course, Adarsh. Everyone would be interested to hear. Now that you have a live audience, why not?
अरे छोटी audience है यार. Only 11 people. मतलब 20 people.
Acha, so
So
Adarsh, you're more comfortable when the audience is bigger. Nice. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Because then फिर क्या सब लोग एक साथ आते हैं एक करके individually भाई गा दे करके है ना, and then I have to sing every time. So I prefer बड़ी audience आ जाए and I enjoy it. Not that I'm earning some money कि ticket sell कर रहे हैं and houseful होना चाहिए करके, but I prefer that. So yeah, coming back to the session, I'll sing a few Hindi songs maybe. I won't sing the same song again. There's Kannave Kannave. Not to disrespect Tamil, I'm learning my next Tamil song. Hopefully, campus पे अब हम लोग मिलेंगे तो we'll enjoy. If you enjoy my singing, that is. I literally have to depend on all your benevolence to sustain myself in that regard. So I use this basically मैंने जब tune लिया था, this is a personal experience, so I can vouch for it as a first-hand guy. Ki, when you are listening, first you should try to listen in the fully Tamil version. Like, many people, like, I guess if Amrita Nandan is there, he likes MS Dhoni. Okay, that's a pretty good movie. Sushant Singh Rajput, fantastic actor he was, but unfortunately, धोखाधड़ी में मर गया. So, he was the Tamil version, then he watched the Hindi version, and then with the subtitles, if you watch it, in the third attempt, you'll get most of it. So that's what I did in this song. I didn't watch a Tamil movie till now. I plan to watch Shivaji or something, once I come on campus. Because घर पे मेरा माहौल नहीं है that, I watch these movies. They usually say, दूसरी language की क्या देख रहा है? हम लोग भी देखें ऐसा देख, पैसे क्यों खर्च कर रहा है and all those stuff. So yeah, so when I was singing the song, I saw this po naate. So Chennai Express mein Shah Rukh Khan keeps saying ready steady po, so you realize it's go. So I realized that something is gone, something is amiss. You can sense it out from the tune that it's a sad song. So then you look at this thing. So you realize the silent death took away my soul. So something went. So I was able to guess partially right. It takes a lot of effort, as I mentioned, to learn a language. That's why आजकल language translators and especially rural translators, like Hindi cinema uses a lot of UP, Rajasthan, Punjab, Bengali. You'll see Jaya Bachchan Bengali hai, you'll see Guru Randhawa Punjabi hai. They'll all come in Hindi cinema because they can translate both things, and they make a big buck out of it. Hindi industry, governmental IFS services बहुत सारे लाइंस खुल जाती है with Hindi, and if you know your local language, लेकिन यहाँ पे जो ऑडियंस है उनको तमिल, मलयालम and एक केस में अरेबिक. I'm excited for the session. So these things do have a scope. ऐसा नहीं है जो अभी सेशन ले रहे हैं it's useless. So as I said, scanning, guessing. So last time we discussed this, so we'll not discuss this much. So we had seen the Hindi letters, and we had Dakshina read out this. And how many of you remember where the average South Indian goes wrong in pronouncing the Hindi letters? Does anyone remember that? Okay, I guess they don't. So any South Indian? Rahul? Rahul, mic on कर सकते हैं? Can you switch on your mic? Yeah, you'll prefer the chat. Okay, great. Rahul has his mic working. So Rahul, I don't need you to read the entire thing. I just need you to read this and this. And then this and this. Just 4 letters. Read it out loud. Let's see what happens.
Gaga and Tha. That's what.
So ga, ga. You repeated the same letter, I guess, again, if I heard that wrong. And ta, tha. Ta, tha, that's what you said. So that's the difference in Hindi. Like, Hindi log zyada mein baat karte because unke end mein hi aa jata hai letters ke. So it is a t. It's not a th, it's not a th. It's a th. There's a h and there's a t here. There's an anuswar put here. And this is g and this is gh. There's an h here. So this is what we discussed. On an average, people do. It's not, you're not alone, Rahul. So well done. You tried. So that's really great.
Also, I think the word ja is not there in some South like Tamil, I guess. Praveen,
Yeah,
can you
exactly. But in
the
Hindi,
ja
it
is ja there.
in Hindi, it is there. So we have to, right now it's a Hindi class. So we'll have to cover everything. Ah, damn, what's that? So, yeah, that was the basic error I had pointed out. So I just tried to list it out this time. Now we are officially beginning with our session very quickly. So, when you say okay, it becomes theek hai in Hindi. People I have heard say teek hai. Okay. Now that literally translates into the vaccine is, which does not make sense. Vaccine being tika, you might have heard टीकाकरण कराओ, टीका लगाओ, So that's the difference between teak and teak. You need to make sure, like most of the audience here, they'll slip an H here. So you need to focus on the H here. And so, yeah, that's one error. And then I have a very prolific singer friend of mine of our class. That friend of mine sung a song from Mahabharat, and I don't know if that friend's here. I put this to make this more personal and relatable. Let's see. No, it's not there. So, anyways, that friend of mine, when that friend was singing, that friend actually said "gata hai." Okay. So gata becomes cardboard, which does not make sense in that line. And when that friend says gata hai, it becomes sings, a person singing, which does not make sense in that line. Whereas the actual word is gatha hai. There's a her here. I want to point it out. Ab wo hai nahi yahan, so I can't help. But the song is overall good, and the friend sang it pretty good. So that's the difference between when you say gata hai, and gatha hai. Gatha. So when you're teaching Hindi, you focus more. Every language has its own anatomy, So they move the mouth. I'm trying to be extra clear and fluent. Usually Hindi में जब मैं बात करता हूँ with Hindi people, I speak quite fast. ऐसा लोग मुझे बोलते हैं. That's how people tell me the translation. So right now I'm trying to be slow, and I need you to. I have turned on my camera so that you can focus on my mouth. Ga tha. There's a tha. The tongue touches the top part. Ga tha hai. Okay. The story is. So as I said again, following the rule number 1, reading and scanning. Now gatha, this means story. Now Google translation है, so your Hindi will always be learnt Hindi unless you grow up in pure Hindi environment. आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा that Google is just putting a general story, whereas gatha is basically an epic, a legend from the folklores. Okay, like it's a praise, it's a heroism. So yeah, that's how they refer to Mahabharat in Hindi literature. So when you realize that story, so what does story mean? When you write story, it comes out kahani, which is the perfect meaning. Then you try to figure out, then I said epic, folklore. What does that mean? Epic, folklore, Mahakavya, Lok Sahitya. This is how you pick up vocab, You have to be curious to learn at least 3 words a day, 3 different words a day, and try to speak 1 different line a day. And trust me, by the time you reach campus in like 3 weeks from now, काफी कुछ आ जाएगा in Hindi. And so Mahakavya, okay, it has a 2 word. So okay, mostly Hindi में ही ये दिखेगा that 2 words joined to make 1. Okay, English में is just 1 word, epic, but here it's Maha as in Mahan, as in great. Maha as in Mahan, ka Maha comes, and Mahan as in great. Kavya becomes a poem. Kavya is poem, and here you can see Kavya, but in Hindi they just stop at Kavya. That's why you might hear them North Indians say Kannad, Karnataka, Kerala. They'll not say Kerala, Karnataka, Kannada. Just like Punjabi accent, which I discussed last time around. Correct hai ji, paneer khana hai. They'll not say paneer. They'll not say correct. They'll siphon off the middle letter. So again, coming back to our session, that was so low accents. So lok sahitya. Lok as in log as in people. Ka becomes ga. Log people. Sahitya as in literature. So folklore. So yeah, that's how you try to pick up a few words, and when you use these individual words, people will say, wow, this guy knows a lot of Hindi, just to put them in complex. So now it's show time. Time being time ka Rajasthani accent, and basic convo is, now we are beginning with the basic conversations. So I guess I've been rambling on for like 5-10 minutes. Anyone, any doubts till now? We have just done a basic revision wherein we covered words and everything. So anyone, anything, any question? Anyone?
Can you even state that even the objects are also termed as per the ling, like pulling and striling?
Yeah.
We denote it for the objects also. So on what basis we are denoting it, if you can explain?
It mostly is coming through practice. Okay. It cannot happen overnight. You just come and start happening. You need to conversate. With your friends, and you always have me, buddy, to help you out with that thing. Anyone, anything else? This is a thing that comes with practice only. You get to know where striling and pulling comes. Striling is in feminine, and pulling as in masculine. Hope that answers your question, Shusham.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So basic convo. So you usually greet with a hello, namaskar. Now this is Google. So as I said, learned languages, they'll never be authentic enough. Okay, till the time you practice it with a Hindi person. So these days we don't say namaskar, bhai kaise ho. We say hello, bhai kaise ho. Kaise ho as in how are you doing. The सामने से response आता है ठीक हूँ. I am okay. ठीक हूँ. Not ठीक हूँ. तुम कैसे हो? ठीक हूँ. ठीक हूँ. तुम कैसे हो? Okay. So I'll rush through this because we have a GD lined up. Last time around we had just non-Hindi people participating. This time we'll have Hindi people participating as well, so that you don't get bored. Now we had discussed this common line, mera hai, that's to be used. So now you point out ki mera kya hota hai. So these are the synonyms for that. I, me too, my, mine. These are all things first person. If I'm not wrong, that's what they call it in English. So I becomes main. This is pronounced as main. Me as in mujhko. Mujhko. There's an apostrophe here that got cut off, but there's a line over here. Okay, that's okay matra. We saw that in the letters. So I hope आपने letters को practice किया होगा. so that you can realize what the script is. And Me Too as in, मैं भी. Okay, it's not the Me Too movement, wo kya? Tanushree Datta wala, where she blames what? Nana Patekar, she was blaming or something.
He on the sets of this one movie, it became a big controversy, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that was genuine. I think she got rapping in the court. I think that was not genuine. Actually, I didn't even know who Tanushree Datta was. Do you? Did you know that?
I mean, she was a former Miss Universe, Miss, I think.
Maybe.
Not sure. Yeah, I mean that one incident got her a lot of clout, not
Yeah.
gonna lie. But
मेरे को
yeah.
वही लग रहा है वो publicity के लिए उसने कर दिया. But yeah, leaving Tanushree Datta alone, because if you stick around with her too much, she might just catch you in Me Too as well. You never know her. I don't trust her. Not to be anti-feminist, certainly not. Me Too needs to be respected, but she, I think, used it for her own gains. That's my personal belief. I don't bind you to follow that. So yeah, these are first person. And now you might wonder how to use these. So water for me too. मेरे लिए भी पानी. Okay, now that sounds incomplete. Okay, मेरे लिए भी पानी. Pani as in water. Mere, as we discussed, mera becomes mere over here. That this is something that, as Shusham discussed, how do you decide कि कहाँ कौन सी मात्रा लगती है? That comes with practice. That comes really fast. Okay, the more you practice, the better it becomes. वो friction वाला chapter किस किसको याद है? The 3 types of friction: static friction, rolling friction, kinetic friction. So static is like the big bad bully. The more you try to oppose him, he grows bigger. And then rolling is like, he peaks up and then, that big bad bully starts receding, you know, in rolling friction. The rolling friction offers the least amount of resistance to your movement. So just like that, you need to practice this. So yeah, this is first person. I hope सबने ये देख लिया है. मैं, मेरा, मुझको, मैं भी. And here's a quick trick. For most of the practical purposes, you might be wondering यहाँ पे मैं भी है. Me too, मैं भी. यहाँ पे मेरे कहाँ से आ गया? Where did मेरे come from? Anyone, any guess as to what the tikram is for this thing? Anyone? Even including Hindi people. Anyone? That I know. For me, it is there. But what is the tikram? What is the reason why, Me Too में here individuality is मैं भी and here it is becoming मेरे लिए भी. Why this mera? Mera is for my and mine. Why in Me Too where, we are putting मैं? Any guess? Any guess? Make a guess, anyone. I don't mind. Okay. Looks like no one has a guess. So I'll tell you. For all practical purposes, these three, ये तीन हमेशा मेरे use करते हैं in most of the places. Only in specific cases which you'll come across through practice, मैं भी आता है. Especially when you're responding to someone, like there's a girl who says that he betrayed me, he hurt me. The other girl will say me too, मैं भी. But for all other practical purposes, when you're using it in between a line, it will become मेरे लिए भी. लिए as in for, मेरे as in my, mine, depending on your usage. Bhi as in two. This two is actually bhi. Now, most of the places you won't get exact translation, but यहाँ पे तो मैंने बता दिया. So now when I correct that line, bring water for me too. मेरे लिए भी पानी लाओ. Pani is water, lao as in bring, lao becomes bring. So you'll be surprised to know that bring comes in the end, but that's how it is, in Hindi. As I said, literal translation nahi hota hai. So, now we're gonna move towards a GD, which is basically college reopening and college life topic. So here are a few vocabs we'll be using, Love becomes pyar, hurt becomes dukh de, walk becomes chalna, he walks fast, वह तेजी से चलता है, he walks, वह चलता है, चलता as in walk, जल्दी या तेजी becomes fast, steal as in चोरी करना, चुरा as in steal, अब यहाँ पे छुप रहा है, can't help it. hostel mein we had a discussion, who are those early morning birds and the late night persons. So sleep as in neend, sleeps as in the act of sleeping, sota hai, you know, sleeping, sona, you know. Now there's a synonym like sona also refers to gold. Okay, gold as in sona and sleeping also as in sona. But it depends on your usage, as I said. This thing comes with practice, right? सोने की चमक बहुत है. Gold glistens a lot. Okay, इसको सोना पसंद है. He likes sleeping. Tall, ऊंचा, long, लंबा, hurry, जल्दी. He sleeps early. Now you'll see he sleeps early doesn't make sense, but the line remains the same. वह जल्दी सो जाता है. And here he sleeps early. वह जल्दी सो जाता है. The same line. But as I said, literal translations nahi hote hain, so you need to practice it. I'm more than available, anyone and everyone, to help you out on WhatsApp chats. And once again, hats off to those who are interacting with me on a regular basis. It's a great thing that you're doing. And pagal becomes mad. So kisi ko bhi, mad bolna ho, say pagal. I don't know what that word was, machalle or something in Tamil that, you call as sala, like son-in-law, but also used as bro. Correct me, Praveen. What do you call that in Tamil? बोल ले भाई. Praveen, तू है? Okay, any Tamilian? Anyone here?
We've got one response. Asiswat says matcha.
That's friend. Macha nambi, I guess that's used for friend, right?
I mean, to be honest, I will say there are some places even in Kerala where matcha actually means son-in-law.
Okay. Thalwe. Okay, great. Astitwa knows Tamil. Mil gaya Tamil ka guru. Praveen,
Isn't
you
it in
better
Malayalam?
be
Isn't it like Alia or something? No, right?
Okay, Alia again. You do say Alia for Alia's brother-in-law, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Alia's
But what
brother-in-law.
does Sala mean then?
Sala is
Salinam.
not in Malayalam, but
No, yeah. But in Hindi, what does it mean, Adarsh?
Sala
brother.
in Hindi basically means son-in-law. Like,
Oh,
your father's wife, that is like your mother's brother, what he is to your father, that is Sala in, Hindi official terms. In unofficial terms, slightly unclean manner, it also refers to bro or, your friend who's, trying to act like your small brother, as Chirag says. So, yeah, that's what Sala is.
And
So,
Yashwant
In
says that.
Kannada,
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Who was that?
yeah, me, Ananya.
Okay.
oh, hi Ananya. Yeah, aa gayi kya? I thought I
Yeah,
was
I
losing.
just woke up to join.
Thanks. Honor. Welcome. Suswagatam.
So in Kannada, Aliya means son-in-law.
Okay, cool.
I think Hannah was saying Aliya in Malayalam means that, right? So in Kannada, Aliya means son-in-law.
Okay, cool.
okay.
Bolo Hannah. Full
And Yashwant says that in Tamil they also say machi.
Machi is mosquito.
No, we use,
Cool.
we have,
And in Bengali, machi is fish.
Ha,
So
machi
you can
fish.
relate.
we have a lot of
Yeah.
terms to call a friend, Like, macha machi is one part of it. So when we move down south, we have another word called pangu, which also means friend. So like we have 2-3 terms to call a friend. So macha machi is a part of it.
Okay, cool. Huh. So that got everyone active. Praveen, tu gaya kidhar tha? When I called you, you didn't respond, eh? Fell asleep.
No, I had some mic problem.
Okay. Thanks. Saved my honor. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, he's being kind, okay? He was probably sleeping.
ये अनन्या होगी. वही है. As expected. Okay, 3 Idiots का meme imagine कर लेना. This is not a chat. So, there's this very irritating principle that Boman Irani plays. So he says every time, as expected for the failures, the two failure friends of, Amir Khan. But anyways, coming back, you watch 3 Days. It's a good movie. I can guarantee. Andaz Apna Apna 3 Days. These are epics. Okay, you need to watch them. So yeah, coming back to pronouns, we discussed first person, I, me, mine, everything. Now that's second person, he, she. Then he, she is. So in second, third person, it's usually va. Okay, it's called va. यहाँ पे va लिखा हुआ दिख रहा है. This a becomes silent. As I said, Hindi में, unlike South Indian languages, they don't use a, they use a more. Okay, Kannada becomes Kannad, Karnataka becomes Kannad. Similarly, this va becomes vah. Vah hai. He is our class rep. वह हमारे वर्ग प्रतिनिधि हैं. Okay, he कुछ ज्यादा ही रिस्पेक्ट के साथ बोल रहा है गूगल because it's of course official. Usually a Hindi person would say वो हमारा class rep है. They won't use this वर्ग प्रतिनिधि. वर्ग as in class. वर्ग as in class. Caste system में होता था something like Brahmin वर्ग के हैं,
Yeah,
Brahmin
that's what I
जात
was
के.
going to say, because the context we use for the word class in English, it's not the same, right, when we use work.
Hmm.
Huh.
Work
And
is like a
प्रतिनिधि
group.
as in हाँ कौन बोल रहा?
वर्क इज लाइक ग्रुप, मतलब वर्क ग्रुप जैसे है. एंड इफ वी से मींस एग्जैक्टली लाइक व्हाट इज क्लास, देन वी कैन से आल्सो कक्षा.
Hmm. Okay, cool. And Pratinidhi as in representative. So you'll have to make this guesses, everyone. All those who are like जिनको बिल्कुल भी नहीं आता है, Hindi, even a bit. I request them to, take a guess. That's how you'll pick up vocab. All these, people who are like really totally unaware. I guess Shalini is not aware, and I guess I don't know about this fellow. And so yeah. One second, guys. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry for the disturbance. Yeah. So where were we exactly? I lost the flow. Oh yeah. So we are making sentences now. Once you have the letters, you have the vocab. Okay. You try to make general sentences, those copy paste lines, mera hai, and then in the beginning, instead of putting name and respective gender identification letters, you just put a pronoun he or she. That becomes what? It becomes same. Okay. So that's a cool trick for non-Hindi people. Whenever you find it hard to remember gender को क्या बोलना था, कैसे बोलना था, just say वह है, वह हमारे क्लास प्रतिनिधि हैं. Class as in class. Okay, I'll not get into that again. So now that we discussed the pronoun, we need to describe the adjectives. Okay, you need to describe someone. Okay, so his becomes uska and her becomes uski. Okay. Uh, Now I don't know why Google was referring to it as use. Okay, probably it's giving um, I don't know what to call it. Probably objectification of women. I don't know. Use is the referred for non-living, or a third group, like a group of people maybe. So her as in uski हो जाता है. As I said, लड़का में this is his as in male. उसके में उसका आ जाता है. आ जाता है. This a की मात्रा represents an a. So when it is like, if you hide this, it will become usak. Usak. It will not become uska. Okay. So this a ki matra in Hindi represents a. So we don't write it Karnataka, as I mentioned again. Don't repeat that. So then her को इसने उससे लिखा. It's her notebook. यह उसकी notebook है. Uski as in लड़की. It represents that it's a female. बाकी everything remains the same. यह, वह, these are common words. Okay, they're not specific. Notebook is just notebook. This is how you write notebook in Hindi. It's her house. So ये एक exception है. You won't say ये उसकी घर है. Okay, you'll say it's उसका, यह उसका घर है करके. So yeah, this is so much so for basic pronouns using uh, proverbs and making sentences. So now coming to our GD, just a few minutes before we start our GD. One word, to describe girls, Gori. Ye Gori hai, she's fair. Now this fair can mean also she is fair, unbiased. So that unbiased becomes nishpaksh. वह बहुत गोरी है, wow, she is very fair. Now यहाँ पे there's an आ की मात्रा, वाह, वाह becomes wow, it's an exclamation. And she is very fair, वह बहुत निष्पक्ष है. She is very unbiased, वो भी बहुत निष्पक्ष है, वह बहुत निष्पक्ष है. Okay, so this is so much so for coming out fair का निष्पक्ष हो जाता है, just to bring in your vocab. So when you're introducing your college life, so you describe someone's color, you describe the environment. Our college is very green, so hara is also means defeat. मैंने उसको मार के हरा दिया. I bet him in a battle and defeated him. But apart from that, all these colors, these are Hindi colors. So yeah, you want to note this down, you can note this down. Otherwise, it's getting recorded, I guess. So you don't have to worry much. And yeah, these are the colors. So do take a note. And now I think the session is over, but I think kuch to gadbad hai Daya. Something is gadbad. Let's try fixing this gadbad. The gadbad is, as I said, I keep saying practice, practice, practice. But are we practicing it right now? Are we noting it down? No, we are not. I might have pointed it out. This is going to be an interactive session. So yahan pe we will have a GD, okay? So we'll solve this gadbad, but we need to quantify the gadbad first. Okay. Now this is a gadbad as in mess. Now that does not have a number quantity, but that reminds me that I have to cover numbers as well. So here are the Hindi numbers. Like most of the number systems in the world, Hindi's number system is quite easy to understand. And yeah, so you just basically need to memorize the first 20. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an anuswar plus the U shape thing. That's what it's called. Panch, not pach, panch. There's a no sound. There's this use of nose. Panch, छह or छह as it is called. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. Till here you need to learn. This is what you need to mug up. Okay. And one thing I'd like to pointing out the time is different. Okay. Like if you say it's 1 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock right now. So you'll say क्या 12 बज रहा है. For 1 o'clock you will say 1 बज रहा है. For 12:30 it's half time, so it's 12:30. Okay. In otherwise without time you will say 12.5, 12 और उसके बाद आधा unit और. Okay, but in time you'll use 12.5. And then 1:30. Does anyone have a guess? Non-Hindi people, what would 1:30 become? No one?
1:30.
1:30 बजे 1:30 बजे.
हाँ 1:30 बजे. ये सुषम बोल रहा था क्या?
हाँ.
हाँ तू हिंदी वाला है, रुक जा. And similarly, 2:30 will become 2:30. Everything after that becomes the same. 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. Okay, so that's how you point out the time in Hindi. Okay, you should try practicing. When I ask you time, this should come to your, directly. 10:30 बज रहा है, रात के 10:30 बज रहे हैं. We don't use the 24-hour clock in Hindi, so we don't say 22:30 बज रहा है. No, we do not say that. After 12 o'clock, this back becomes to 1:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. Okay. So in the flow, I just said 1:30. That's wrong. Okay. 1:30, 2:30 करके कुछ नहीं होता. It's 1:30 and 2:30 in terms of time. So yeah, that's the end of the presentation for you all. So yeah, let's have the GD right now. As I mentioned, the topic is college reopening and college life. Okay, so we have our very own organizer. Okay, that's not the boss. Okay, she's not my boss. That's the good part about it, because we don't have a hierarchy as such. But yeah, we have our very own volunteer Hana. Yeah, hasle.
Hello.
So everyone welcome her. She's already there. She's spoken quite a bit. So welcome, Hannah. Hannah.
Yes, yes, hello.
हाँ, अब
हाँ,
हिंदी में बात करेंगे. Okay. So
ठीक है.
everyone else, you have to listen and put it out in the chat. Try to interact. We'll stop in between, so you know. Cool one.
Okay, एक disclaimer है. So my Hindi, it's like it's fine, लेकिन मैं उतना भी fluent नहीं हूँ. So all of you Hindi guys, all of you all who are really good at Hindi and the audience, if I make a mistake, please tell that out too. So I think that will help everyone to, you know, identify, okay, where are the places people go wrong usually and how can we correct it? We can also do that. Thanks, Chirag. I appreciate it.
So cool one. I'll just have a good laugh at that. किस-किसका reaction है? Okay, cool. Leave that. So yeah, everyone. Now comes the bit of a monotonous part, but this is where you learn the most. Discussions. जो मैं इतना लंबा चौड़ा, you know, I was saying practice, 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 debate, debate, debate. We are going to do that. So as I mentioned, topic है college reopening and college life. So हाना और मैं as prospective अमृता students जो अगले महीने उम्मीद करते हैं, अब ये XC variant आ गया है. So we are hoping to reach college. 72. You're asking the number, right? Because बेहतर. Are you trying to put an E there or a A there? Okay, I am assuming it's 72 because there's an A here. So 72 is 72, guys. वो आपको आपके slide पे भी मैंने दिखा रखा था. So as you can see, 72. 72. This is 72. So unless you practice the letters, you won't know this is B and this is not B. So बहुत लोग, you know, they complain to me, you know, बहुत problem हो रही है when you write Hindi in English, you know. I don't know if Vishal is here. He had quite some problem with that. So Vishal, I'd like to point it out to everyone, not only to Vishal. He's not here. Sala nikal gaya. That, you know, I always make it a point. Okay, cool. So I always make it a point, as I said, when you're teaching is different, when you're talking is different. When I'm teaching, I'm trying to ensure that मैं chat कर रहा हूँ, तो if you pay attention to my chats, they're half Hindi, half English, so you can make a guess. Okay, as I said. So now coming back, Hannah is getting bored probably. Hannah bore तो नहीं हुए ना?
नहीं मैं सुन रही हूँ, कोई बात नहीं.
So नहीं as in no, okay? For those who are unable to guess, मैं थोड़ा ऐसे translate करता रहूँगा. So hey Hannah, कैसे हो?
मैं ठीक हूँ. How are you?
Okay, that was a translation for that she did my part. How are you as in कैसे हो? As I mentioned earlier, मैं भी ठीक हूँ. भी as in also, मैं भी ठीक हूँ. तुम्हारे घर पे सब लोग ठीक हैं?
हाँ, मेरे घर पे सब लोग ठीक हैं. I hope तुम्हारे घर पे भी सब कुछ अच्छा ही चल रहा है.
हाँ, चल ही रहा है shifting. So this is my last session from Jaipur. Background लगा रखा है, इसलिए you won't be able to see my Jaipur house and Nahargarh and everything.
तो इसके बाद कहाँ जा रहे हो? सीधा कोयम्बतूर?
ना जी, उससे पहले हमें मुंबई शिफ्ट करना है.
अच्छा.
So we'll be shifting off to Mumbai.
तो सबसे पहले आप लोग मुंबई शिफ्ट हो जाएंगे, उसके बाद कोयम्बतूर?
हाँ जी, और पेरेंट्स नहीं, वो तो सिर्फ मैं शिफ्ट हो रहा हूँ कोयम्बतूर. But yeah, just a second. So yeah, coming back to our discussion. So हाँ, कोयम्बतूर जाने से पहले हमें मुंबई जाना होगा and कोरोना का पूरा बदला लिया जाएगा. गिन के चुन के बदला लिया जाएगा. जितने दिन घर में रहा उतना मजा किया जाएगा. ये कौन लीव कर गया? देवेश्वर शायद. So you know, मैं काफी एक्साइटेड हूँ. तुम तो काफी घूम रहे हो पहले से ही हाना, if I'm not wrong. क्या ये सही है?
मैं 3 महीने इंडिया में थी, तो उस टाइम पे मैं एक्चुअली कैंपस विजिट की थी मैंने. So our campus, it's very beautiful, 400 acres, और मजा करने के लिए तो बहुत सारा जगह है, बहुत सारी जगह है, सारा जगह है. Am I right?
हाँ, बहुत सारी जगह है.
सारी जगह है. Okay.
Susham, please take note. Jagah inside India and rather countries are referred as feminine usually. Okay, so बहुत सारी जगह है, जगहें हैं. जगह is not plural.
Singular.
जगहें. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how you learn. So Susham, take note. Just put a thumbs up so that we know that you're there.
Sure.